Hello, Bots and Books fans, this is Scorp1701, and tonight I am very excited to bring to you this DC Multiverse Deluxe Batman Year 2, and this is a beautiful, beautiful looking figure in the box, and I love it so much, and there are a few things that have me worried about this. I got this in the mail today from Target. It was a online purchase, but I am concerned. I have thought about it. I've written to Target, and I've decided to go ahead with the review. If there is something really wrong with this figure, I'll try to put it back in the box as best I can and try to explain it to Target. As you can see, first off, it looks like the straps holding the figure in have been broken. I don't know if that was because somebody already purchased this figure and took it out of the box. That kind of worries me there. So you see the broken straps there, and there is some weird hanging plastic on the inside of the box here. I don't know if you can see that, but it is a very strange thing. I don't know what that's all about. And on kind of inspection of the Batman, from what I can see in the box, there is a ugly blue streak right on his face. I don't know if we can zoom in, but I'll take a picture of it and put it on here for you. And I don't know. I checked the website. This thing is sold out. Obviously, it sold out really quick the first time. The second time, I got lucky enough to pick one up, and they sent this to me, and I figure if I send it back I'll get my refund, yes, but I don't know if I'll get another figure, and I don't know if this will come back around. And I'm seeing them on eBay go for like 90, 100 bucks more if you have the signed Todd McFarlane card. This is just the standard edition, so yeah, I want to take a chance. I think I can fix up that paint blemish on his face with a little bit of touch-up paint. So let's go ahead and start this review. And hopefully when I get into it, I'm not going to find that somebody's already really took him out of the box and destroyed it and put it back in. All right. So let's start off by taking a look at the box itself. It is in a huge DC Multiverse box, and it is a large open window. You can see Batman in there looking all cool, a little gravestone. You have an awesome McFarlane gold label right up there at the top. Usually that is reserved for Walmart, but apparently not. This was a Target purchase. You have DC Multiverse here. It says Batman, and on the bottom right you have an awesome picture of Batman looking like he's supposed to, based on the art of Todd McFarlane. So yeah, I think Todd McFarlane's getting some shameful plugs, especially with this DC Multiverse line, excuse me. You know, he got his own special figures. He had the Batman, the two Batman and the Wonder Woman. But anyway, continuing on, 12 plus here on the side of the box, and it is huge. We're going to turn it around. You have DC Multiverse, you have Batman, and you have McFarlane toys. On the other side of the box, you have DC Multiverse, Batman Year 2, and McFarlane toys. On the top of the box, you just have open window. You can see in the bottom, and on the bottom of the box you have some barcodes and credits for the box and some other stuff, and there's the little shipping label from the Target. So yeah, I'm not crazy, I don't know. So let's get this done, and then finally on the back of the box you have, up here at the top, you have Batman Year 2. You have an awesome picture of Batman right there, and you have some more credits for the box over here, 22 moving parts and some other figures in the line. But that is for another day, and I'm not interested in those figures. I am just interested in this big Mamba Jumba, and I want to get him out of the box and see what he can do. And here we have Batman out of the box, and this guy is huge. He comes in just under 8 inches, and he comes with a lot of accessories. And fortunately, I think everything is in the box that's supposed to be in the box, so we'll go over it in a little bit. But first, I want to take a closer look at the Dark Knight himself. And coming real close in on the Dark Knight, you can see this is a fantastic head sculpt. It is very, very nicely done. I love a Batman with huge ears. Not as big as the Red Rain Batman ears, though. These ears are about an inch long, and they come off of this beautiful blue cow, and you can look in there and you can see his dark eyes with white pupils. I love that. You can see some detail in his face mask. The sides of his chin are nicely done in flesh tone paint, except that horrible blue line that you can see right there coming off of his mouth. First I thought it may have been shading, but you know, when I looked at it a little closer, I'm like, yeah, that's just like paint drip. But again, I think a little bit of flesh tone paint can cover that up. He has a nice neck, comes down to his shoulders and his huge chest, very nicely done. We're going to zoom out just a little bit so we can get an idea of his full stature. And so, wow. Obviously, the blues here on the shoulders are a little different than the cow. They're a little darker on the shoulders. I think that will cover for the cape. And yes, he does have a cape. He has a cloth cape. I'll get to that later. I just wanted to show him without the cape accessories. And when you get him out of the box, he's not going to have any arms, so you're going to have to attach the arms to him. There have been wide reports of the arms breaking, so out of an abundance of caution, I went ahead and used a hairdryer to heat him up. And from my experience, his joints are moving really, really smoothly. So I haven't had that problem yet. Hopefully it won't, because I don't know if people really know how to take care of their figures. Sometimes the plastics that get used make the figure brittle if you don't warm them up and then get the paint residue kind of worked out. So that may all add to it. But anyway, continuing our look at the figure, you can see he is in his classic blue and gray costume. Nice grays for the shirt. You have the bat symbol here. Now the bat symbol on mine isn't as clear as I would like it to be. We'll zoom back in and see that. I really wish it was more defined. But again, I think with the use of a little Sharpie, I think I could fix that and make the ears on the bat symbol a little more predominant. And who knows. So coming down, nice utility belt, nice blue trunks. The gloves are really nicely molded. I love these glove spikes. They're really huge. Again, almost an inch long to correlate with the longness of his ears. Nice open hand here. These are interchangeable, and there is another set of hands that we'll take a look at. Coming down to some nice gray legs and some nice blue boots. Love the high boots. This guy is just fantastic. Okay, zoom out just again. Wow, I just love this guy. He is huge. I love how tall he is. Coming around to the back, not a lot of stuff you wouldn't expect. Just some carry through, the grays, the blues, the belt, still nicely painted. Some back of the boots, so nothing there. He does have holes in his feet, and I got him on a standard DC stand here because it is kind of hard to get this guy to stand on his own. So maybe we get him, I don't know, it's not important. Nope, there he is. Woohoo, he's standing on his own. So it can be done. All right, so that is what the Batman looks like. Moving on. And for articulation, starting at the head is really nicely articulated. It can look down a long way. It could look up a long way. But again, you're going to break your sculpt because it isn't really in there. It's kind of on a ball joint, and it's kind of sitting above the shoulders. But when you have the plastic cape on, it's not going to be that noticeable. But without it, you can see that it's there, and you can turn the head all the way around 360 degrees if you're so inclined, and you get some wiggly waggly there. I really love this head sculpt. Love it. Coming down to his shoulders, the shoulders do go all the way around 360 degrees. They are on a hinge, so they can come up and down. You do have a bicep swivel, goes all the way around 360 degrees. He does have a double elbow bend, which gets a lot of good range there. I love that. Very good. And then you come down. There is no like forearm rotation, but you can come down to the hand. Hand can go around 360 degrees. It is on a ball joint hinge. It can go in, it can go out, and depending on where you have the ball joint, it can go up and down left and right. So that is a really good articulation there. Then coming down to his chest, he does have an ab rotation right up here above the waist, and it can get you around 360 degrees. And you also have a waist articulation, and that again can get you around 360 degrees. So that is good. You got two options there for your articulation for the waist. Coming down to his legs, legs can go up a little bit, they can go back a little bit, they can kind of go out to the side. There is a hinge there, so you know, I'm trying to be as careful as I can because I don't want to take any chances that they do break. But yeah, you're going to use the hinges because they are available to you. So yeah, go up again, back. Yeah, we all saw that, so I don't know if the hinge makes a lot of difference, but yeah, it does feel good. It does feel sturdy. All right, coming down to the knee, you got a double knee bend, which is really good. You give him a back kick. Yeah, kick. So that is good. Coming back down, and that will bring you down to his foot. There is no boot cut, so wasn't really sure. Didn't know if there was one that was stuck. I mean, it almost looks like there is one, but there is not. So I guess it's just the way that the boot is made. So coming down to the foot is on a ball hinge, so it'll go around 360 degrees, and the foot can come up and the foot can go down. And if you have the ball hinge to the left and right, it can go left and right, and it definitely is on a rocker, so you can get this rocking all the way around the world 360 degrees. And then you have some toe tiltage up. That is very good. Very articulate 8-inch figure, very good. Again, be very careful. There are some reports that if you do get this guy, make sure you kind of work out the joints before you just start going full speed with them. Don't want any unnecessary breakage. All right, that is his articulation. Moving on. So now that we looked at the figure, let's take a look at this cloth cape, because Batman definitely needs a cape. And you get two options in this particular set. You get obviously the plastic one that makes it look all statuesque, and then you get this nice cloth cape, and you can see it's nice and blue. It's very silky, comes down to some points at the end. Really like that style. And if you look in the back, it has a nice plastic ring here, and that's attached to the cape. This is plastic here, and then I guess it's sewn and glued in there. And then you have two little pegs right here, and they will plug into the back of Batman right here. But unfortunately, if you try to get this on like this, it's not going to work. So what you got to do is kind of pop his head off, and that's gruesome. Oh God! And so you'll kind of work the cape over his body like such, and then you will find the two peg holes in the back and just plug them in. In theory, it should be fairly simple. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so he's got a cape on. And now we can kind of get it situated before you stick the head on. And get it all like that. So, and then we'll pop the head back on. And hopefully we're not going to have any trouble. Shouldn't have. Alright, and boom, there you go. And Batman has a cape. Now, bad thing about cloth capes, in my opinion, is that they are either, you know, too short, or they're made too thick, and it just covers up and it looks like he's wearing a blanket instead of a cape. But, you know, this isn't really any different. You can kind of have it. He looks like he's covered up there, so, you know, that's a good look for Batman. He's always like looking around. What's going on down there? I am the night. You know, I think it would have been cool if they would have put some bendy wire in here, but, you know, they did not. And this is what we got, so I don't mind it so much. It's cool. It fits him. I think I'm glad that they went with a larger figure for it, because I think the bigger the figures are, the better you can manipulate the cape. See, I like having like a short, thin look like that. So that is really nice there. So, yeah, and that is going to be everything I can say about his cloth cape. I do think it looks nice, so anyway, moving on. And the next thing I want to take a look at is these alternate hands. He has two alternate hands. He has a nice punching hand here, which is really nicely sculpted. You got some fingers in there and some nice grooves for the top of the glove. Really, really nicely detailed. I like that. So you got some fisty detail with the thumb and all closed, fisted up. That's cool. And for the right hand, he has kind of an open hand where he could hold things, and you still have the same design with the ridges on the gloves. It looks like you got some knuckle punchers there. Some like grooves or some built-in brass knuckles or something, make his fist a little more, you know. And what you can do with this hand is hold his batarang. And this is a nicely done batarang, I suppose. It's blue, nice and curved, and you got some grooves down here at the bottom, kind of give it that bat look. It's a little big, I think, but yeah, it's a little accessory, and he can hold it in his hand like so, and you can have him looking like he's going to throw it, and it's a pretty good look for when he has arms. All right, and those are his accessories. Moving on. And full comparison, here he is with a couple other DC Multiverse figures. The Superman, Green Lantern, and Angry Flash. And I don't know, he looks okay in there. I think the cape kind of throws him off, and the fact that he's bigger than Superman. But, you know, I think if you're not really a stickler about scale, you know, he could fit right in. All right, moving on. And for another comparison, here he is with a couple of my other favorite Batman. The Nightfall Batman and the Justice Batman from Alex Ross. And I think he stands up really good. They're each all unique and different. I am going to have to say that the Nightfall Batman here is still going to be my favorite. But it's going to be hard to beat him. He's just classic. But this guy is still really, really awesome. All right, moving on. And for a last comparison, here he is with the other Todd McFarlane-inspired Batman. And that's really, really neat. Again, Todd has a great take on the Batman. I love the long ears and just the grimace face. That's just so Batman, I guess. All right, moving on. And for the next accessory I want to take a look at, we have the trading card, which is in here. It's a very nicely done picture with the Batman there in front of a nice yellow moon. Kind of reminds me of my favorite comic cover, but it's not exactly. And you have Batman Year 2 right here at the bottom, and turning it over, you got that same picture a little closer, and then we will zoom in ourselves a little closer, and you can see Batman Year 2 at the top, data file, and then a little read up. So let's zoom in there, and I assume this is going to be based on the actual series or the storyline. Anyway, that is the trading card. And now let's get into the big draw of this figure, starting with the stand. And we'll start off, this little flat part here is the first part of the stand, and it's done in a nice molded detail. And you could look, and we can get real close up, and basically it is a bunch of headstones, and that is very creepy. But you have some nice names that you can make out there, like Barbara Gordon, and you have Tim Drake up here, and that is scary. Nice little angel there fallen and broken. And then over here you got some more tombstones that you can make out names on. You have Thomas Wayne, kind of, because it kind of goes in with a W. You have a nice angel here all broken, and then you have Martha Wayne there. That is Martha. And then over here on the side you have some more names. You have Jason Todd. Ooh, very creepy. And this is a very nicely done piece. And then you have the final Selena Kyle. So this is very sad and depressing. But anyway, let's zoom this back out so you can actually see it. I'm sorry about that. And so, wow. All right. So you can see it's basically, again, the same as the other bases that we get. This is the base from the Flash and the Red Death 2-pack, and it's, you know, fairly simple. Same kind of hollowy plastic flat on the back, and so that is that. And there is a place where we can attach this piece, and this is another tombstone and a cross, and that is really nicely painted. I like it. Too bad there's not a name here. I don't know who it would be. Alfred, maybe. Dick Grayson, maybe. I don't know. Bruce Wayne. Yeah, hopefully not. But anyway, so what this will do is it will slide into this little slot right here, and there's like 2 little ports on the back, and it's only one place it can go in, one way it can go in, and just slide that in there like that, and it should go in pretty easily and snap. So yeah, there you go. So that looks really, really nice. I like it. I like it a lot. Now you can compare it to the more larger stands. Like this is the one that came with the Green Lantern and the Dawnbreaker, so that's pretty neat. And then you even have the stand base that came with Superman and Devastator, so that is cool. I really like these bases that they're providing us. All right, now comes the kind of challenging part. And that's going to bring us to this big, huge shell of a cape. And it is basically nice plastic, and it is done in a very McFarlane type of way. Lots of exaggerated features and flare outs and bends and folds, and it's a nice blue, and you have a nice black wash over there. This is really, really nice, and it goes on to the back, and this will be the back of Batman, and it comes up, and it got these little bat wings. I love it when he has those little pointies on this cape. And then again, same over here, very flowy. Does definitely remind me of a lot of Todd McFarlane covers, and this is so cool. All right, now it's going to be kind of tricky to do, but what we want to do is start with this piece, and it comes with 2 of these little posts, and you have a nice blue curvature here with a hole here and some tabs here. Now mine, again, is kind of suspect that somebody may have used this, but it has a lot of stress marks already there. So I don't know if they maybe made this second run and used some parts that had been damaged or not exactly up to snuff. But I don't know. Again, quality is kind of bad with this thing. But, you know, I'm reviewing it, and I hope you guys don't mind. But anyway, back to the story. This part will be attached on the inside of the cape. And if you open up the cape, you can kind of see that there are some ridges right here on the sides. See, there they go. You can see some tabs that will correlate to these ports here on the side. And in theory, it's supposed to peg into there and then just connect to the little tabs. I'll have to do that off camera because I know that's going to be a bear to do. And then when you do that, you will combine this into this port and then connect it to the base, which is here. And then that should make the cape all stable and give it this awesome wind-blown look for the Batman. Now, to put Batman in here, you got to do a little prep work. And to do that, well, you're going to have to rip his head and arms off. I'm sorry, Batman. So, all right, his head has to come off. Ah! And then his arms will have to go off. Again, don't use that much pressure. They should just pop right off like they popped right in, hopefully. So we'll try to get these out of there. I'll probably have to do that off camera. Hang on just a second. I'll be right back. Okay, we're back. And this is what your poor Batman is supposed to look like if he was to stand in his awesome plastic cape. So, alright. I also took the liberty of going ahead and doing the post on there, plugging it into the top, and then putting this attachment to plug into the base here. So what we'll do is we'll just stick Batman's head or torso up through this little hole here, and he will pop up at the top of the cape here. At the top, you can't kind of see it. I may have to do this off camera too, because it's requiring both hands to be very close to the figure. So hang on a second. But basically that's the idea. You'll put it up here and then you'll plug the head on to hold it in place. So let me get that done and I'll be right back. So after a lot of frustration and moves and fear of breakage, I finally got him to where he's supposed to be. Alright, this is Batman in his shell cape, and it's attached to the base. So yeah, this is your final product, and this is really nice. It's very, very statuesque. Definitely is a great homage to that page from the comic book, and I just love how this thing looks. Really like it. Sad that if you do this though, you're going to be robbing yourself of the great sculpts and molds of the base with all the tombstones, but it still looks very, very nice. So you can see, taking a look around, Batman got his head in there looking all stoic and cool, very dark nightish. So we'll go around to the back. We'll just twist this around really good. Again, got nice prominent shoulder wings or spikes. I love that. I love the long ears. This is just a cool figure. And wow, that is so cool. I do have a Lazy Susan turntable, but I don't feel like getting it out, and I don't know if it would be able to move everything on here because it's also large. So anyway, that is cool. I love the way this thing looks. All right, let's see if we can find some comparisons. And for a statuesque type comparison, here he is with the Batman Arkham Knight video game statue that came with the deluxe edition, and that looks pretty cool. And for a second comparison, here he is with the Batman black and white statue, also inspired by Todd McFarlane's work. And I think these are awesome representation of Todd McFarlane's artwork on the Batman, and he just does a great job. All right, moving on. And this has been the DC Multiverse Target exclusive Batman Year 2 Deluxe figure. And this thing was great. I loved almost everything about it. And what I didn't love was just because I think my copy was a secondhand or a resale or something that they wanted to put out, and it wasn't as good as I think it could have been if it was like a first run figure. But with a little bit of patience and paint, I think I could get this guy looking as good as he ever could be. So that being said, talking about the figure, he is great. He comes in two modes. Obviously you have your statuesque looking mode right here with the plastic cape. It is kind of a bear to get this thing on him with those two posts, putting them together and then trying to port them in there. It's a very tight fit, but if you get it, it looks fantastic. And the base is awesome. Again, in this particular format with the plastic cape, you do miss out on some of the awesome grave details on the base, but if this is how you like it and you want to display it, more power to you. It's your toy, do what you wish. And if you don't like it, you can always take the plastic shell cape off and put on some actual arms and a cloth cape and give them an awesome action figure type look, and that will work too. Again, I like the options of this particular figure. There wasn't really anything bad about it. The mold and the sculpt were great. The paint, again, on mine wasn't that awesome because I have that big blue smear going down his face. But again, that's just a simple cover-up job. And the articulation, again, snapping on some folks, that's been an issue. I didn't have any problems with mine. Of course, I took a little bit of precaution and, like I said, heated it up to where, you know, the joints would be soft and rubbery again. So if you're worried about that, go ahead and use a hairdryer. Shouldn't take more than about a minute or two, just covering it all on high heat. But yeah, this is a really cool figure. And if you're looking for this, I don't know, Target had him up for a second time, but that has since sold out because I tried to replace mine today and they didn't have any. But there's always eBay. But again, you go to eBay, you're paying close to $100 for this guy. But if you want him, that's pretty much the only places I think you can get him. So happy hunting. And that's the review, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. And until next time, keep playing. And cutting back in here at the very end, just to let you guys know that yes, I did find some paint, and I think I fixed my problem with his face, because now, look at there, not a blemish in sight. I should go into dermatology, I think. And I did find a little bit of black for his bat symbol on his chest, so I think I made that a little more defined, but not that it was bad to begin with, I just like it a little better now. And that is the end result of my fixing, and I think now we got a very, very good Batman. Alright guys, that is just a quick update, and I hope you guys have a good night. See ya.